Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, and you can see what I'm about to do right now. This coolant is so nasty. There's a note written, I forget where, someplace on this car, that the coolant was last flushed. I'm assuming it was the last time it was flushed, 2005. So I'm going to go ahead and drain this and flush it the best I can and refill it. Stay tuned. That is nasty. Well, since that coolant was so nasty, I'm going to go ahead and flush this with some regular tap water for right now. I probably should have picked up some sort of standard flush, but the tap water, will mix with all the nastiness that's still in the, the back of the block and the heater core and everything. I'll end up getting most of that out. And certainly the coolant I'm going to replace it with is going to be 1,000 times better. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. Got a bucket of water right there. Fill it up and let it run. That's after one flush. So needless to say, I'm going to be doing this several times in order to make the water not so nasty. God, lack of maintenance on this car. Ridiculous. Well, that's flush number 2. I'm not even kidding. I probably got about 3 more flushes on this thing before it starts to get clear. This was a lot more clear than the first time I flushed it, so onward and upward. That's the 3rd flush. That's nasty. There is just no call for that. More flushes to come. This is number 4, I think. I'm losing track. I know it doesn't look any better, but it's finally starting to get just a little bit clearer, so I'm going to keep doing it. I think this is flush number 5. Just give this a few minutes and drain it again. I don't think there's any end in sight for this. I'm probably going to have to do this like 15 times before it starts to look any better. God, it's frustrating. All I want to do is get on with this and move on to something else. The latest flush. It's a lot later than it was, but I still have a long way to go. This video is going to be so long, talking about flushing this thing 5,000 times. This is the clearest it's looked so far. Well, I finished up that radiator. I ended up flushing it about 3 more times, and then I refilled it with fresh coolant. So what I'm going to do is probably run it for about a month or so and then flush it again. Coolant's cheap, and I would just want to make sure that I got every bit of that nastiness out of there that I could. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I've got some degreaser, and I'm going to go ahead and spray it on the bottom of this car, and I got my power washer out. I'm going to wash it off. The bottom of it's just really dirty. Down here. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, some grease. The rear diff doesn't look like it's leaking any fresh leaks or anything, but I'm going to go ahead and clean all that off as much as I can. So let me go ahead and get the degreaser out. I'm all ready to go with the power washer and the grease. Degreaser's been sitting for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not going to actually show this process because this is nasty and in my face. I'm going to be laying on the ground and it's going to be hard to film while I'm doing this, but I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. Alright, I know it's hard to see under there, but it's a lot cleaner. Got all that blasted off. And now I'm going to turn my attention to the front. I'm going to go ahead and try to get all that PLASTIDIP off the car. So I'm going to spray it with the Goo Gone, let it sit, and then power wash it as long as I got the thing out. Okay, so I got this all coated in the Goo Gone. And I want to thank my subscriber Saber008 for giving me the suggestion about spraying this, letting it sit, and then power washing it off. And as I can see, it's actually dripping down. So hopefully this should come off. Now I don't know what the bumper cover is going to look like underneath. I have a feeling it's going to be in terrible shape, but that's okay. I can refinish it. I'm going to let this sit for a few more minutes, then fire up the power washer. Look, it's just dissolving right off of there. That's awesome. Of course, I'm going to have a mess, but I'll deal with that. Well, that is pretty satisfying. As you can see, all the paint's worn off, but that's okay. It's in better shape than I thought. I'm going to go ahead and spray this down again and let it sit, and then do it some more. Well, this is kind of mesmerizing to watch this just being eaten off there. The longer I let it sit, the better it is. I'm going to let this sit for a little while longer and finish spraying it off. I'm actually really happy with the condition of the cover under there. I thought it was going to be trashed, but it was just rubbed from the bra, so that's good news. Okay, this is pretty much done. Got a couple little areas. The actual primer started to lift right there, so I'm going to be careful of that. A couple little edges underneath, and then I am done removing this PLASTIDIP. So I think I'll start to prep the bumper for paint. Didn't really plan on doing that today, but this looks pretty bad, so yeah, shouldn't be difficult. There's really no damage to this cover. I was gonna say, it's a shame there's really no way to find out if this ever had an emblem on it. I guess we'll just never know. I am done for today. Let this dry. It took me longer to clean up my driveway, all that mess over there, than it did to actually clean the crap off this front bumper, but I'm pretty happy with it. Needs to have a couple areas sanded and filled maybe, and whole bumper can be repainted. But that's progress. That's gonna do it for today. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.
Oh, come on, damn it! Oh, that sounds good.